We'll talk about that.
It's quite poor. Good morning, YouTube. This is the first proper day of our new offices, and what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd give you a bit of a tour. We've got a bit of a backstory, but we'll get to that. I've just bought my own stock back, but we'll get onto that in a bit. That sounds really weird, I know, but anyway, we'll go in and let's have a look at our new offices. It's a bit of a mess at the moment because we dumped all the new stock on Friday. So let's go. Good morning. Yeah, you. So here we are. This is not how the office looked on Thursday evening. I'll include a couple of photographs. It looked really quite nice. This is all the stock that we rebought at auction on Thursday, and I'm going to get into. I've got 4 orders to put out first, so I'm going to stick you in a corner, and we'll do a speed job, and then I'll sit down and we'll explain what's been going on really. So let's sit you over here. Right, so it's now, what time is it now? It's now 1:40. So I've been here about 2.5 hours, and this is how the office looks now. This stuff stays here, packing material, but we put everything away. And I did promise to explain, or to tell you why we went down the route of basically buying our own stock back. In 2012, Jane and I bought a music shop, small market town music shop. It was a dying business. Had we not bought it, it would have closed by the following February. We bought it in September. And for 7 years, we enjoyed it. We sold that business just before the pandemic. We sold it in it was the 1st of December when we actually handed over the keys. And of course, by the following February, that was 2019, by the following February, the whole world changed. But we were still owed quite a lot of the money of selling the business. The new proprietor didn't have the money to be able to buy the shop outright, so we came to an agreement where he would pay us monthly. So jump ahead to August this year, when I was away at Edinburgh Fringe. I got a message from the new owner of the shop, and she said that he wanted a meeting. And the outcome of that meeting was that he had decided that he wanted to give it up. He wasn't making enough money. Now, I can be very critical about, how I would have handled the business through a pandemic, and we did handle our business through the pandemic. But, that's not for me to say, really. So the conversation that we had was that he was thinking of going down the insolvency route. I tried to persuade him that that wasn't the way to go. The first thing I offered was for him to try and, first suggestion I had was for him to try and sell the business as a going concern. The other way was to actually try and sell it all off. And actually, subsequently, the landlord has also did the same thing. He did, he tried to convince him not to go down the insolvency route. Anyway, he did go down the insolvency route. That left us being one of his major creditors. Now, I'm not going to say how much we were owed, but the conversations we've had with the insolvency firm is we are unlikely to get our money back. And we are talking at least 5 figures. Anyway, I've still got a set of keys for the shop. Because we, in effect, really, we still owned an awful lot of the stock because it hadn't been paid for. So when the insolvency firm kicked in, they went and sold all the stock off. Now, I looked at when the auction was, and the auction was last Thursday. So the end of September, and I bidded on things that nobody else was bidding on. And also because I knew what to bid on to some extent. I didn't bid on any of the guitars. I did bid on a couple of ukuleles, but the guitars and the ukuleles went for pretty much close to basic trade price. Now, I've never dealt with an auction house before. And the thing you've got to remember is whatever the hammer price is, that's not what you pay. What you pay is the hammer price, in this case, plus 20% plus VAT. So you have to be really careful about what price you're buying things at. I certainly bought at least one thing at slightly above normal trade. But the rest of it, I think we probably did all right on. Like I say, most things people weren't bidding on. So the starting bid for a lot of the stuff was £2 and £5. So we got a lot of guitar bags and cases and things like brass and woodwind and accessories. Predominantly accessories is what we bought. But having said that, I spent most of Saturday putting a lot of that stock online. Now, we would normally put it on 3 websites. We'd put it on our own website, which I haven't done in this case, although I probably will do long term. Because we're looking at a reasonably quick sale, I put it on eBay, I put some of it on Amazon, and I did put some of it on Reverb. And already we've seen, I've sold 4 items today. That's what I've been boxing things up. I've been tidying up and boxing things up. So that's why I ended up buying back what in effect was my own stock, which felt like a very strange thing to do. But I'm as a business, we are going to be out of pocket with the insolvency of the music shop. And this is possibly one way for me to reclaim some of that money, is by buying this stuff cheap and then selling it on our websites. Because the stock is new. We didn't buy any stock that wasn't new. There was some second-hand stock. There was some amazingly, there was about 4 second-hand guitars, which I know for certain were unplayable. We'd been given them years ago, and they were just dotted around the shop, really, and we used them as window displays. Those things were sold, and they were sold for a reasonable amount of money, which I'm absolutely amazed at, and I'm not so sure that that's right, really. The one thing I would say about this particular auction house, and I won't name them, is that they gave almost no information about what you were buying. They took a picture, they said what it was. Like a good example would be we bought a load of violin bows and violin accessories, but none of that stuff was itemised. The 3 bows were itemised, and what happened, actually, we've just contacted them this morning. Those 3 bows were not in the bag, the sealed bag that we picked up from the auction house. So something has gone amiss there with those bows. The rest of the stuff was there, but none of it was itemised. Now, we paid £20 for that. We should certainly, there's certainly more than double that in terms of what the value of those accessories are. So that is the plan, that we're trying to double up what we've actually spent and maybe more. So that's why we're here. We took this place over on Friday, although we've been moving in for the last 2 weeks. We're in a business centre. There's a lot of security, so you can't. The reason I've got a lanyard is my key fob is on here, so we've got security doors, so you can't just walk in the building. It's manned by reception. There's facilities. We've got a conference room we can rent. We're not paying for Wi-Fi because we're using my 4G account, and we needed space because we were renting a room from the music shop. So we had to clear our stock out as quickly as possible, and then we've filled it with a load more stock. Like I say, it's been a very strange month, really. Quite sad in a way, because that music shop was there for 22 years. We had it for 7 years. There were 3 previous owners before that. And we turned it round. When we left that business, it was a going concern. Now, granted, a pandemic hit, so that was an unforeseen situation, really. But we built it up over those 7 years to being a profitable business, and I would have liked to have seen it continue. But anyway, it's gone. But it's been very sad for Jane and I, because we didn't want the music shop in that town to disappear. It's been there for so long. But anyway, enough of me. So thanks so much for watching. If you like what I do, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers now. Bye bye.